There's MK. She's still our friend, but she has to go. Just so you know, there's no drama. Hey, yo, viewers, and welcome again to this channel of content. The name is Draw Rocks and Spoon on the internet. This is Jay Crows.
Hey, viewers.
Yeah, how's it going?
Beautiful day here in the Storybook Capital.
We're in running shoes?
Yeah, I'm
running shoes?
training again.
Look at those.
Got some new Hokas from our Abilene running company.
Can you run fast in them?
Yeah, they're
Can you show me how you run fast in them?
they're my third pair of, I'll say it wrong. I always say Rincon. That's probably not right. But yeah, this is my new brand, Hoka and model, brand and model.
Endorsement implied?
Endorsement implied. I love these.
Yeah, if you go to the Hoka website and enter in code JCrow10, you get absolutely no
Nothing.
discount.
You get a sorry, we cannot find that.
So today we're doing a 3-mile-ish, I don't know if you want to, training thing for the marathon and Dopey, as we are all registered for. But as
Like dopies.
yeah, like dopies. But as we have all participated in marathons, among the slackers, we have all participated in 10 marathons. And we know that it is a difficult distance to conquer. It's a difficult thing to train. And there's a lot going on. There's some double-digit runs coming up. But you know what? There are more difficult things than running a marathon. Is that right, Linz?
No, that's true. And the thing is, you will hear people say that half the battle of marathon training is a mental battle. And there's a degree to which that's true for some people. But also, when you're getting up in these miles, we see that a lot of people get distressed about how hard it is and feeling bad about themselves because they're not running as long or as fast as they think an Olympian told them they should be able to do. And that's sad, y'all, because we paid a lot of money to do this, to go to a Disney place. And it would be sad if you spent 7 months being mad and sad at yourself. So we think it's important to have a good mental mindset, and that's why we're here for you, the slackers. That's what we do. And so today we want to help remind you, as you're maybe training for a marathon in this moment on your treadmill or watching this on your couch like we do, to remind you of things that are actually harder than running a marathon or training for a marathon. So the next time you're on your little run diddly un, you can be like, this isn't hard, because there are things that are harder. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. All right. So we're walking by the Big Purple Band.
YBB.
Yeah, you're an alum.
I am an alum.
Yeah. Is there anything difficult about marching band?
What's
That's
difficult
more
about
difficult
marching band? That's
than
more
running a
different?
marathon?
I mean, you're pushing out more of your breath while you're also walking, and sometimes you're walking really fast. but
In
I'm
the
not gonna-
heat.
In the heat.
In the heat, you're walking. In the heat, you're blowing air through
Moving your
either
fingers,
a
moving
metal
your arms.
or wooden object
It might be big, it might be small,
in a formation.
in like weird outfits
Yeah.
with many pieces.
Playing music.
Suspenders, t-shirt,
Some
jacket,
kind of fight song. What is
hat,
the fight
some
song
set of
for?
feather.
What is the AC fight song?
At one point in the middle, it's W-I, because you have to say it like a West Texas person. W-I-L-D-C-A-T-S, purple, white, fat, fat, fat.
That was not Meredith, Long Runs and Liquor talking. Look, they're playing the frisbee.
Oh, is that part of training?
Enjoy these 4 years, younglings.
Or more.
Yeah.
I,
Took me 4.5 to get out of here.
Yes.
whatever.
It's not because I'm dumb, it's because I changed my major late.
Once you leave the soft, comfy nest that is college years, it's a cruel, cruel, cruel world out there.
Yeah, one day kids are gonna have to not eat ice cream after 9 p.m.
Oh.
Really sad state.
You might grow up and be a manager, and then you have to babysit other adults.
Oh, that's super fun.
That's not fun. They don't pay you enough to do that. Managing other adults is harder than running a marathon. Yes.
Yeah.
It'll last longer too. Last much longer.
I would much rather run up this hill, or I'd rather run up Steamboat cold. Like, drive me to the bottom of Steamboat Mountain and just make me run up it. I'd rather do that.
No, it's also harder than running a marathon.
What?
You know, the person at like McDonald's or any fast food place, you drive up and they take your order at the speaker. They're like, "Oh, are you a rewards member?" No, I'm not. Well, thank you. What would you like to order? They're doing that while also taking payment from someone at the window, most of the time simultaneously.
And there are two lines. Two
Yeah.
lines.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
How do you do that?
How do you know the car that you're giving the order to?
I think I saw something. You hear that? I thought it was the tomahawk chop for a second.
That's close, actually.
Yeah. But how do you know all of that stuff? Comment below if you know.
Yeah.
You're a fast food veteran in that industry. That's very difficult because sometimes they're talking while I'm giving them my card, and how do they know? You know, it's not like every day I don't like check for fraudulent activity, but I guess I trust them to charge me $9.57 for my QPC with an unsweet tea that I got at Mickey D's.
QPC with an unsweet tea, got it at Mickey D's.
QPC with an unsweet tea, got it from Mickey D's. Nutrition. It's not often that I go there, but like sometimes you do. I just do have a craving for a QPC.
Don't feel ashamed of your
3 days. 3 days intestinal issues. 3 days.
I have the cure for all of you McDonald's lovers who just can't eat it because it's McDonald's. Rock and Rollers here in the Storybook Capital, they created their version of the Big Mac.
I
All
saw
the
that
same
yesterday.
ingredients, but high quality that Rock and Rollers is known for. It was amazing. I will say that double meat on a Rock and Roll burger is for real. I couldn't finish it. It's so much food. So fly out here to Abilene next time you get that McDonald's craving.
What else is harder than running a marathon?
Now, I should say, I have not completed a marathon yet. I've completed 22 out of 26 miles of a marathon. I've completed 2 marathon training cycles, but the longest I've ever run is 24 miles. So I still think I can definitely say that something that I believe would be harder than training for a marathon is being the person who has to clean out marathon porta potties.
Oh yeah.
I have used those porta potties in some distress. I would not want to be the one cleaning out the porta potties. If you had to ask me today, Lindsay, would you in this moment want to run a marathon on an unsupported course over a bunch of hills? Or would you like to clean out the porta potties at the end of a Run Disney marathon weekend? Easily would run a marathon right now. Happily. I'd go for it.
You know, I've only been into one Run Disney porta potty, and that was during the half marathon. I believe it was in 2019, and it was still dark, and it was not magical. It was not magical at all.
No.
Usually when I walk into any public restroom, and if I can feel and if I can smell the faintest smell of poop, I walk right out of there. Because I don't want to deal with that. J. Crow, have you spent any time in a Run Disney porta potty?
Yeah. 2019 I did. Twice. And not only was it a porta potty experience, by the time I got to it, it had been sitting in the sun for a while. It was
Describe the smell.
You know, I will say one thing that Disney does well, lots of things, obviously, but their volume of portalets is always widely proportional to the number of runners. So I think usage is low, at least the one I got into, but it was hot.
It was hot. You also
Florida heat.
Also, 2021.
a lot of minutes in one.
Did I? Oh, Wine and Dine. Now that was pre-race, and that I went to one that hadn't been used at all, because
Fresh.
it was 50 degrees. What, right?
It was cold.
It was cold.
It was colder than
And I was wearing less than this. I had a singlet on.
Jordan.
I was freezing. So yeah, I spent the entire pre-race in there until I heard Carissa say, head to the corrals. I stayed in there.
Would you rather run a marathon or clean out the porta potties after a Run Disney race?
I would much rather run a marathon.
It's harder than a marathon.
Harder
guys.
than a marathon.
Things
Yep.
that are harder.
I once rented a porta potty for a party at the lake, and the guy who came and got it, I was trying to be polite, and I paid the gentleman, and as we often do out here in West Texas, was going to shake his hand to finalize the transaction, and he said, "We don't do that in this business." I said, "I appreciate that, sir." Harder than a marathon, definitely.
I'm actually feeling motivated to run. This is actually helping. Viewer, I hope this is helping you too. Because I'm like, yeah, I can run. I'm not cleaning out a porta potty or taking an order in a double lane drive-through or managing other adults that I need to babysit.
For me, just surviving in the wild, wild ocean is much harder than a marathon. For like 1 second, for 5 minutes, any of that, much harder running a marathon.
Do
Now,
you like boats?
now that boats are hard. Boats are hard when they're tiny and they just go skimming, jumping off the top of the ocean.
Can you give an example of
ocean?
what you look like on the boat?
Like this. Dang. And then my body started shaking like this.
Yeah, she was like this.
It was like, I'm gonna die. I don't even think I looked that sick while birthing a child, which is also harder than running a marathon.
Well, like triplets, that would be really hard
That
too.
would be really hard. Triplets would be really hard. I can handle the lickety split just fine. But
Yeah, look at this. We're gonna have to fjord this.
and that is non-potable.
Oh yeah,
That poo water.
It's poop water.
It takes me 7 hours theoretically to run a marathon. If you had to ask me, would I rather be 7 hours on land where the people are, or 7 hours under the sea where the seaweed is always greener, I would probably choose 7 hours on land up where they walk. Because let's be real, I'd be walking 7 hours, most of the 7 hours of a marathon. So I will give it to you. 7 hours in the ocean without a vessel of some variety is harder than running a marathon.
How would you describe? Would you rate running a marathon or being in the wild, wild ocean?
Adding that is like part of an Ironman. I've completed a third of an Ironman
Yeah, you have.
3 times.
Since we are talking about triathlons, I do want to shout out to Marv, who was a triathlete
Yes, he was.
when I was a wee one. Not just locally here in West Texas, but actually did the Liberty to Liberty. Swam from the Statue of Liberty into New York Harbor, biked from New York City through New Jersey towards Philadelphia. Southern New Jersey, got off the bike and ran to the Liberty Bell in downtown Philadelphia.
Did he ring it?
I hope he did. Dovey and I and Baseface were all there waiting for him. But we were wee ones.
Was the finish at where the rocky stairs were?
The finish was at the Liberty Bell, where which has its own building in downtown. So I believe I was actually born. Well, J. Crow FAQ. I was born in outside of Philadelphia.
Oh, West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Born and raised, not raised.
Spend a lot of your time
Yeah.
at the playground?
What's your days?
Marv and Dovey were up there for a business something. I don't remember why they were up there, but I came early.
Yeah,
I was eager.
We also discovered that J. Crow does not know the not the French Prince. That's a new series now. The French Prince of Bel-Air.
Did not chill out, Max, and relax.
Yeah.
All cool and all, shooting some b-ball outside of the school.
In a couple of days,
A couple of times.
we were up to no good.
Yeah.
Started making trouble in my neighborhood.
There you go.
I got in one little fight and my mom got scared. She said,
Moving with the Auntie and Uncle Bel-Air.
I do know it. How dare you? He's DJ Jazzy Jeff. Is that right?
They were
That's
assuming
right.
you were too old for Freshmen of
Yeah.
Bel-Air. That's what they were doing.
That's correct.
Not
That
too
is what they
young.
were doing.
Too old.
You know another thing that's harder than running a marathon? Being that cast member at the beginning of the ride vehicle when they say, how many people? And you say 6. And they're like, rows 3 and 4.
Yeah.
How do you remember that?
Great call.
I would totally forget. And there would be 8 people in one row at Space Mountain. And I'd be like, I'm sorry guys, I told you to run. just try to fit in as best as you can and hold on. I know it's very dark in there, but we'll assure you're not going to hit anything. It's going to be okay. All 8 of you in row 1.
Sorry, little Timmy, you're not going to get to ride with your father on this ride for the first time. You have to ride alone with these Disney adults dressed up like Peter Pan characters. Link above,
Yeah.
Timmy.
Because I told you row 4, and obviously I can't count, and I cannot remember that. Has anyone ever done that? Comment below.
If anyone's ever done that before, tell us how you do that math. That's hard.
That is.
Yeah, how do you remember that? They don't have like even being an umpire. Umpires have like little clickers that, remember the balls and strikes. Like, I don't see cast members doing that. They're fresh young people doing that with minds that are fresh and good at math. So I'm pretty sure they're like math majors doing that.
I'm watching this move-in situation over here where there's a lot of college students coming back to this
college students
this
moving
here
in.
beloved campus, and I'm watching people like try to direct traffic and help people make sure that their lovely children get to their dorms.
Yeah.
I think that's probably harder than a marathon, I would think.
Sorry, kids, you have to pay for all of your student loans.
Just thought of something that's controversially harder than a marathon. Some people might be up in their feels about this one. I think being a Run Disney employee, any type of Run Disney employee,
Not the volunteer, the paid employees.
paid employee, I think is harder than running a marathon, because no matter what you do, no matter what email you send, no matter what race theme you carefully craft for a weekend of grown adults shelling out literal thousands of dollars to come run lots of miles, no matter what medal you order or design, no matter what shirt design
No matter
you make,
what cracker is in the box.
no matter what cracker is in the box, no matter what costumes the announcers are or are not wearing, no matter where you put the I did it picture stops, no matter where you put what course route you make, someone, usually multiples of humans, will react to your carefully thought out work as if you have violated the Geneva Convention
You just
somewhere.
described my career a little bit, Lynn. I feel every moment of that. I don't work for Run Disney, but that's literally all I do.
As a homeowner, and you other homeowners out there will know what I'm talking about. We purchased a house. It's what's the hip word? It's vintage.
It's vintage.
Yeah, it's a cool house, and the sprinkler system is also vintage
I mean,
or archaic.
underground irrigation is a lovely benefit to have with your home. However, underground irrigation can also cause some serious issues, which is why I don't use mine.
So we're in the middle of a drought, so it's very obvious where the sprinkler system is working, not working, and where it's leaking. Very beautiful grass over that leak.
Oh yeah, same here.
So the rest of this weekend, I'll be working on sprinklers, and I would much rather train for a marathon than be on my hands and knees in the mud and the muck fixing PVC pipe.
Did you dial 811?
I did not dial 811 before I dug. So my final submission for something that's harder than a marathon would be the 4 nights of fish that I'm about to see up in Denver, Colorado, 4 consecutive nights.
Well,
Now,
that's
that
tough.
wasn't a big deal in the past. I saw the entire 99 summer tour. That was 20 shows over 2 months.
Yeah, I got questions about that, but that's for a later time.
Probably involves Marvin Dovey.
Yeah.
I was also 20
Yeah,
at the
I
time.
actually want to do a follow-up just with Marvin Dovey on all of that. But there's less air up there, so harder to breathe, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Number one.
Harder and
Two,
harder
there's,
to
like,
breathe.
people
Everywhere.
everywhere.
26,000 people fit in that place.
Yeah.
But you don't have enough oxygen
Yeah.
for all of you.
It's the oxygen deprivation. It's kind of a reverse dopey, because rather than getting up at 2 a.m., you're not going to bed till like 2 or 3 a.m. And then you have to wake up, do stuff, and then do it all over again.
Yeah.
So
Trey and the boys are jamming out.
they're going to take it. They're excited. It's been a huge tour. Summer's been hot, and this is the finale. So at 43 years old, I'm a little concerned how I'm going to hold up. And then I have to drive home on Labor Day, 13 hours after all that was festivities. So I think that's going to be harder than training for a marathon.
Harder to stay hydrated properly. That sounds tough. It's like the 3 days I spend at ACL Fest with all those youngins and not as youngins, and it's hot. And there's thousands of people all around, and I don't want to use the gross bathroom, and I don't even know who that is on stage because I'm old. And is there something to eat because I'm hungry?
Tacos, it's awesome.
Taco, it is Austin, so there is like some delicious food.
Barria tacos.
Oh, birria? Barria?
What?
Barria tacos? So just to wrap that up, I've, in my illustrious fish career, which dates back to 1996, so this is uncharted territory. Being in a metropolitan area and trying to pull this off. But Coach HJ is going to try and help me out, so we'll see. But definitely harder than training for a marathon. So yeah.
Something that's going to be harder than a marathon though, because I believe you're going to see our dear friend HJ.
Yeah.
What's it going to be like when you have to say goodbye to our dear friend HJ?
So that too is harder than a marathon because she is such a good host. Her and the whole family there.
Family of HJ, should you be watching this, should HJ be making you required to watch this, a child of HJ and spouse of HJ, you have to come to Run Disney weekends from now on. It's not negotiable. You have to skip all your cross-country meets. You need to come to Wine and Dine and hang out with
literally
grown-ups.
go cross country.
Literally go cross-country. And spouse of HJ, I would like to watch you easily pass me speed walking while I am running a race again. Link above. You passed us walking while we were running a race. So
That was a good lap around ACU, guys.
It's hot.
It is hot.
All right, guys, so there's a little small taste, but before we close out, we have a question from one of our viewers, and right here.
Hi Slackers, Anna here. What characters are you eyeing to behold for Dopey? I gotta know. 90s characters, are you thinking some gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere? Thoughts?
All right, thank you for that question, Anna. So, what 90s characters are we looking forward to in the marathon? I know Powerline Max is lurking in the Halloween party, so I expect to see a very long line for him. Also, Vacation Genie, which is arguably the most popular or the best character ever, says me. Throw out some Darkwing Duck, some gummy bears.
Go, gummy bears, bouncing
bears.
here and there and
Everywhere.
Anna, were you born in the 90s? Because then if you were, then you're the character I'm looking forward to the most. I don't know if you were born in the 90s or not. You're probably close to that, right?
Yeah.
So you,
no.
darling, you.
None of us were born in the
Well,
90s.
I mean, since they do own part of the seasons of Doug.
yeah.
Awesome if they like made a Doug.
I want
and
to see
it has
Quail
to be
Man out there. Quail Man.
Man.
How about you, J. Crow?
I
You
trying
too
to
old?
think.
Were you in high school?
Yeah.
Corey Matthews out there.
Topanga.
Corey and Topanga.
Yeah.
Corey and Topanga. Character stop. Run Disney, that's what we want.
Or just have like Ryder Strong out there and be like high-fiving people.
Yeah. Ryder Strong, I don't know what he's doing these days.
I don't either.
Mr. Feeney.
There episode 1 came out in 99.
Whose
Maybe.
episode? Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So that would be cool.
Yeah, episode 1 came out.
Miniature
So-
like Anakin. That'd be cool.
Yeah, little
aw,
Jake coming out.
working.
Yeah. Know what if little Anakin came out during the race as a character stop? Know what I would say? Yippee!
Guys, I actually feel a little like inspired
Oh
by
yeah.
all of. This is important to remember. My takeaway from talking about things that are harder than running a marathon is we're actually pretty lucky to be training to like be taking time, have the time to like run and talk with our friends, run and like go to Disney World and run a marathon. So if you're feeling yourself getting all like teary-eyed, just remember that you're actually pretty lucky. Sometimes it helps to put the old frown upside down. Just that's my 2 cents.
Did you know it takes more muscles to actively grown than it does to smile?
There's a lot of times during, maybe not a lot, but there'll be times during the marathon where we're gonna be like, this is dumb, what am I doing?
That was like literally a good 13 miles of it for me.
But you can remember this
But
now.
it's fine.
Just think,
Yeah.
am I emptying a porta potty? Am I
No.
giving birth? Am I managing, babysitting grown adults?
No.
Are people complaining about everything I do at work?
Probably still happening.
Am I attending a fish concert?
No.
Am I checking anyone out of McDonald's?
No.
Yeah.
But I might go through McDonald's if it's
Oh, yeah. If I can
available.
get a Diet Coke,
Yeah.
yeah, a little QVC and a DVC.
QVC?
Oh,
And a
and a
DVC?
DVC
QV. Oh yeah, not
Yeah.
quarter vegetarian pounder.
Yeah.
or a
QPC with an unsweet tea. Got it from Mickey D's Nutrition. So, when you're running that marathon in January, just remember these things that we think are harder than a marathon, or maybe you have some suggestions. Comment below. So, with that, we hope you like, subscribe, and tell your mom about this.